sense walking down when you can slide.
What's with Canada? We got great big cities, but a lot of trees and rocks. Yeah, the winter's cold here. Wear 2 pairs of socks. There's half the world's fresh water to paddle your canoe or camp along the shore.
Welcome to the channel. I'm Gerald, and this is Trekking with Taz. Today we are going on what I call the NECHAKO Valley Waterfall Circle Tour. We will visit Cabin Creek Falls and CHESLATTA Falls on the Holy Cross Road. Then we'll cross the Kenny Dam, go on to the Klaskus, over on the Bobtail, and visit KOSHE Falls, back to the Klaskus, and we'll visit GREER Falls. Some of the pictures you'll see are from previous visits, as conditions didn't enable me to take some pictures that I would have liked to have taken. This is very doable in a day, but it is a long day, so be prepared for that. Okay, let's check out the video.
Today's trek is going to be what I call a waterfall circle tour. We're going to hit Cabin Creek Falls, CHESLATTA Falls, KOSHE Falls, GREER Falls. Where we're going to start at is on the Holy Cross Road, which is roughly 10 kilometers past Fort Fraser. You will pass Fraser Mountain, you will pass Fraser Lake and another small lake, and then the main artery to the left after that, at about 10 kilometers from Fort Fraser, is a Holy Cross Forest Service Road. That's where we'll start this tour. Just before you get to the 131 kilometer sign of the Holy Cross Road, it's a little pull out here to the left. That's where you leave your vehicle. You will have just crossed the Cabin Creek and the trail just below this, just 50 yards. Being 131 kilometer is actually 31 kilometers from the highway. Starts at 100, as many of your Forest Service roads do. So from here, where we leave the vehicle, we head back down just where you see that culvert in front of us, and when we get there I'll show you the trail. This is what Cabin Creek looks like from the road from the start, and the trail is just in front of us here. There is a sign, but you will have to look for it a little bit, but you can see there's pieces of boardwalk and Cabin Creek's Fall hiking trail. So this is where we're going to start our adventure today. Just a little bit of a look back to the culvert into the road and down through the canyon. This is a little of what the trail looks like coming in here. I don't think it's well visited, but it is used. Been in here a number of times myself, but never run into another soul or too much obvious indication that others have been in here, but it certainly has been all cut out through here years gone by. Still some snow on the trail down here. That wasn't to be expected, but we'll get through it. Not sure how much snow we'll encounter, but there we go. Got a bit of a rock canyon in here along the creek. Kind of don't expect that as you're driving down the road. It's pretty neat. This little section in here, you have to kind of climb along the edge of the creek here to get around to that point where you can climb up. Might be a little slippery, might be a little early for most people to come in here and do this. We'll see what we can do. Back. You managed to get through there without cleats, but I would suggest it might be worth wearing cleats. We're at the above the falls now, there is a way down, and we'll see if that's doable this year or not. I definitely have pictures from being down there other times, so there will certainly be pictures. Let's see where this takes us. This is where you climb up to access a rope on the other side to get down below the falls. A little steep, but it's not crazy or anything, especially if you're wearing decent footwear, which I am. Not a ton of water in there yet this year. Again, like I said, I have pictures when it was much better, so I will post them with this, but it's bound to improve, so don't be sidetracked and not check it out. When you get to the top here, you will see a rope goes down through a gully here. Normally it's okay, but we'll see today. I'll have a look and decide if I'm going to attempt it or not. It's not sure how solid that rope is. Yeah, good question. They have many pictures from down there, so I think we're going to skip it today. I'm not sure I like this rope. I see lots of frays on it, and no point getting hurt today. Yeah, if you so choose to come up here and you want to go down there, I think I would bring a chunk of new rope, maybe 70, 80 feet of it, and tie it off and use it. I'm not big on ropes that look like they've been there for years and are worn. The issue being, of course, what happened to me on the Stone Arch when I was using the rope to get down, and the rope broke as I was going down. Fortunately, not hurt, nothing serious, but not worth the trouble. Not today anyway. There's not a lot of water, so the falls are not as nice as they could be. So give it a few weeks and it'll probably be better, and bring a rope, and I will show you what the falls look like when they are in good condition. Yeah, you can see from here how the rope goes down. Once you get past that little bit of rock, it's all good down there. Probably not even dangerous right now, just not feeling it right now. So said, bring a piece of rope with you. You will have to return going down this steep little hill. Again, be careful. I don't consider it dangerous, but it is steep. And then at the bottom we have to turn and work our way along that ice again. One note, there's some rolly rocks on here, so don't get in a hurry going down. Pick your footing, so if a rock rolls out from underneath you, you're not going with it. Other than that, it's not too bad. So this is where we got to go across that slippery section again. Again, if you got cleats with you, you may want to put them on. I've got decent boots, and as long as I'm careful, it's not a problem. So, but it's very short-lived, maybe 20 yards. On our way back out, that can be really nice when the water's flowing a little better, but today it wasn't all that special. But don't pass it up when you're coming out this way. You're driving out a long ways to get to CHESLATTA or to the dam. Go and have a look at it. It's worth the time. And conditions to get in are going to be just increasingly better as the snow melts here. As you can probably see in the GoPro, encountered a bit of a snowstorm. A little better than a rainstorm. Thinking back, I wouldn't bring any young children down in there just because those steep sections in that rope just could be a little too much, I'm afraid. Of course, you'll all know your own children better than I do, but certainly something to consider. Well, that's a short little trek, but worth it to go in. So we're going to get back to the vehicle, and we'll continue in on the Holy Cross Forest Service Road. We're at 131, I believe. CHESLATTA River is about 159, so 28 more kilometers. I'm not sure that's accurate. I'll let you know when I get there. And from there we'll walk into CHESLATTA Falls and have a look at it, and then carry on from there. Just a quick look around the valley as you come down into it, as you're heading over to CHESLATTA. Want an idea what it looks like out here. Okay, at kilometer 159 sign, or 59 kilometers to Holy Cross, you will cross the CHESLATTA River. Usually a lot more water in here than this. You mustn't have the Skin Lake Reservoir open. This is not a lot of water, so we'll see what it's like when we hike down to the main falls. But that's what she looks like. Instead of parking on the side of the road, I'm going into the wreck site. See, there's 159 kilometer. And we'll leave the vehicle there at the wreck site and just walk back up and across, just in case you ever want to camp or something here. You see where it says you are here at CHESLATTA Falls, and then we'll go up over Kenny Dam, past New Stub Lake, and carry on from there. Okay, this is the start of the CHESLATTA hiking trail. Just give you a chance to read that if you want. Said that's not very much water. Usually it's right up to the edge of the bank here and it's just boiling. That is about as little water as I've ever seen on the CHESLATTA River. I've been on it with boat up to CHESLATTA Lake 40 years ago. Never seen this low of water. It's crazy. So what we are going to do here, we walk out to the bridge here, we're going to cross the road, and the trail starts on the other side of the road. Follows along the river until it gets to the falls. I'm not sure how far it is, it's not a great distance, a couple kilometers maybe or something. So, there you go, that's where the trail starts, right there. Quickly, when you start on this trail, you encounter this island, which is again way bigger than it normally is, and usually has water all the way around. And way down there on that bend in the river, often see people in there fly fishing. Don't know what they pull out of there, but I certainly have seen them in there more often than not. So nice little start here, this little steps that they built. There's the bridge that we started at. So we're up on the escarpment now above the river. And we'll take one route out and another route back. Right here you can see the trail wise. We're going to stay left and we're going to stay down along the river, and then we'll come back the other way. See where this trail comes along here, you often see water up right close to this trail. Like I said, this is the lowest I've ever seen, so for sure the spillway is closed. But you do have to watch in spots here where the trail is right on the edge and high water. The trail's right on the edge, and sometimes the water's even flushing up onto the trail a bit. It's not dangerous if you pay attention, but bringing children here, you want to be really watching them close to the water. Starting to hear the water drops off. Falls are still a ways yet, but you can hear how loud it's getting. So you see that it's channeling down and building up and into the falls. So that's the beauty of walking along the river trail. You get to enjoy that. And there's a little bit of a lookout up here. We'll go over there. And sometimes water's so high and so fast, it's a little unnerving to be up here, but that's not the case today. So let's go up and have a look. I can guarantee you this is a view you don't normally get. You normally can't get down on these rocks. So it's kind of nice. Then it's how things change when the water's low. That's the actual falls dropping down into the NECHAKO River. We'll get in a better spot to see. You can't see a lot, but usually there's a boiling mist, I don't know, 40 feet in the air off of that falls because there's so much volume in it and a big rainbow above it. The valley and the river coming down, not much water. Then CHESLATTA mixes and get a little more water now. Let's go over and have a look at the falls. I'm gonna climb down here and have a better look. Okay, we're just dropping down to a little bit of a lookout that's here. And then we'll go right down below after. First we'll do this. There's a little picnic site down here. Used to be a picnic table. I don't know where it went, but often years this is flooded. You can't get down here. I can't believe how dry it is. I see where I used to wade across the water to get out to a band of rocks, a little island of rocks to take pictures. And now I can see from up here, I'll just be able to walk right out there. It's crazy. Now this is where I used to wade to get out to that band of rocks to take pictures. I could get out there without that now, but I don't even have to go that far. This is not accessible normally either. So I'll just go out here, take a couple pictures. Crazy to be able to do this, but if you have never been and you want to see all this, this is definitely the year to do it. There's no doubt about it. Changed my mind, decided to walk out here and get this other view. I don't know if it'll be much better, but it'll be a little different. Probably as far as I'm going. I'm going to keep the boots dry. Still got a whole day in front of us, so That's CHESLATTA Falls. And as you can see, it's pretty easy going here. Working our way through the willows at the bottom here. Pretty soon we'll go over and climb back up the hill and take the other trail up over the top. I guess it'd be a shortcut, goes through the middle of the timber. Just something different. So going back, instead of going back along the river, we're going to go up over this hill and straight through the timber. We'll take one last look around here. Getting a little windy, you probably can't hear me, but that's okay. That's what it looks like. And we're heading up this hill here. See the trail going up. A rather boring walk through the top here, but it's just another option. It's not that far anyway, and you back out and you'll have some view. You can see down to the river a bit here through the trees, but not very well. Up here on this escarpment, got a bit of a view down CHESLATTA, and as you can see by the bridge there, we're not very far from home anymore. We'll get back there and then we'll head over to Kenny Dam. Okay, I know it's going to be loud and hard to hear, but we're almost at the vehicle again. So that was CHESLATTA Falls. Guaranteed when they open the spillway at Skin Lake that there'll be a lot more water and it'll be even more impressive, but even the way it is pretty cool. So on to the next one, Kenny Dam. That's the first view you get of Kenny Dam. Certainly not what I ever expected the first time I come out here. I'm sure people who haven't been here before would think somewhat the same, but that big rock pile there, we're going to drive across that shortly. This is where we turn left. Klaskus 500 road. Call it a private road, but you're allowed to drive on it. So the dam is only just a couple hundred meters down here. You'll have New Stub Lake on one side and the canyon on the other. So this is Kenny Dam. That'll be New Stub Lake right there. This is the dam here. Canyon down below. We'll see where the NECHAKO River starts, down by that little sign down there. We won't bother going down there though. Too many things to do still today. For those that have never been, that's what it looks like. By the way, New Stub is the first lake in Tweedsmuir Park lake chain, and those lakes are well known for good fishing, but big lakes, big boats. New Stub Canyon, the end of the Kenny Dam. You got to widen the road. We're going right towards NECHAKO Lodge, and we're actually following it all the way down. So there'll be a bit. I can't remember exactly how far, but when we get there, I'll let you know. I guess this sign answers my question. It's 25 kilometers to the Klaskus. That's where we're headed. And this is New Stub Lake here. There's 2 kilometers down. There's access to camp down there, I believe. There's a big lodge down there. And back the other way to the falls. Okay, we're out to 25 kilometers. We're meeting up with the Klaskus Forest Service Road, where we're going to turn left. And we'll travel it down. I'm not exactly sure how far it is, but we're going to the Klaskus Connector, it's called, which is in essence just a piece of the Bobtail Forest Service Road. And that's the next stop. Okay, a kilometer 56.5 of the Klaskus. We join up with the Bobtail Forest Service Road, or Klaskus Connector as they call it. And we're going to travel down it a ways to where we're going to go and find KOSHE Falls. Roughly 12 kilometers from the Klaskus is where we're going to turn. You can see the 80-kilometer sign, you can see the bridge, and you can see this little road to the right. That's where we're turning to go to KOSHE Falls. And we'll have to make a move down there too, and we'll show you that when we get there. Half a kilometer down the road, you will come to a Y. At the Y, we're going to stay left. I'm not sure today how far we can get down the road. It's not very far to where there's a parking area, but whether looking at the snow, whether it gets ugly, well, we'll just park wherever. But that's the direction. The road isn't looking nice, so we'll walk from here. This is only an extra quarter of a kilometer or something, and it's not a long ways anyway, so no need to go and fight with that. Not sure if you can see my vehicle, but that's where I parked. And this little pull out here, maybe 100 meters, that's where I usually park. So it's no big deal just to park back there. But when it's dry, nice to pull in here and get out of the way. But it's not much of an extra walk. It's not very far anyway, maybe a kilometer or no to the trailhead at the most. They've been in here with a piece of equipment, scraped this. So I'm not sure if they're planning on doing some logging in here, or whether they were accessing the fire in here, or what. Guess we'll find out as we get down further. Definitely not sure what that scraping was all about. We go into the trees here where you see that triangle of pink ribbon. See, they were further on down. What they were doing, I don't know. Like I said, could be they were accessing one of the fires in my Finger Lake in here. I have no real idea. Interesting. But here's where we start our trail into KOSHE Falls. The fire was over here, and a little bit of it, you can see that, and across the way. Trail a little obscure because of the fire. You'll have to look a little bit. Well, you'll have my track, but yeah, we'll figure it out though. Further back along the trail, there's definitely some windfall and some burnt stuff that fell down on the trail. Someone's gonna have to come in with a power saw and clean it back up to make it more obvious. I did a couple of years ago, and I know there's been somebody else in here in between has cut it out, so hopefully someone comes back and figures that out. And here, whatever that road was they're pushing here, it's right against the trail, so that's a little odd. No answer for that yet. We'll go a little further along here and get a better view of it, but this is the canyon where the falls are. Because of the fire along here, it's a little difficult to follow, but not impossible. Okay, we're at the top of the falls, and I can see that the fire has been in along the hill. You can climb down. There's a trail goes down to the bottom of the falls. I'm going to skip it today. I just don't think it's worth it. I've got lots of pictures at home of the falls, so I will, when I post this for everybody, is I'll put some of the pictures of what it looks like from down below. But in the meantime, you can see it's a pretty cool little spot. Used to be a log here that you could sit on and look at the falls, have a snack, and it's burnt up. The trail went down here. You can see a couple of ribbons. Said I'm not even going to bother with it. It's just not worth the trouble. But if you're bringing kids here later in the year, this is also a very steep hill. Be careful on it. Okay. Time for us to carry on and go to GREER Falls. A little view from above the falls. Try not to fall down here myself. Okay, we're back out to the road. Because of the fire, it's not quite as pretty, but there's no doubt that as soon as green up comes, it will be just fine down by the falls. So you might have to go through a little area that isn't all that pretty, but the falls will be great. So now we'll head back to the vehicle, less than a kilometer. Basically back to the vehicle now. So I don't know, less than a kilometer out to Bobtail Forest, 12 kilometers back to the Kleskas, and then we'll take it to kilometer 37.5 and go down to GREER Creek Falls. Okay, we're at the GREER Creek trailhead at 37.5 kilometer of the Kleskas. You can see the fire was here, we knew that. So, see a storm coming in behind. So we'll try and make this a little quicker than normal. Try and get there and out before the storm hits. So we're off. Yeah, the fire has knocked a lot of trees down. Across the boardwalk, we'll have to crawl underneath of them. The boardwalk didn't burn up though, so that's a good thing. It's gonna be a little muddy in here in places. Oop, some of it's burned a little. Overall, not too bad though. Not very pretty going through here after the fire. But Mother Nature has a way of rectifying that fairly quickly. Things will green up here before you know it. The animals after the fire will love the new greens, and there'll be animals all over the place. So Mother Nature makes it better again. One thing about walking through this burnt forest, you have no problem moving fast. There's not a lot to see right now. Springtime will be fine. There'll be lots of spring flowers and ferns and stuff come up after the fire, but right now it's just keep moving until you get to the falls. We're gonna start dropping down now to the creek, follow the creek up to the falls. Hopefully down in the valley it's not as burnt as bad as here. We shall see when we get there. See some green across the valley, so fingers crossed. Okay, we're down on the creek now. A little separate in a few places coming down, but all in all, pretty good. And you can see the bridge, so we're just a few minutes away from the falls. Here we are on this side of the falls. We'll go across the bridge, go the other side after, but we're going to catch them both. Fair amount of water coming down on this one. The others didn't have that much, but this one does. That will be GREER Creek Falls. And we're going to take the bridge over to the other side. If it looks good, we might even climb to the top of the falls. We'll see when we get there. Okay, this is the outer side of the falls. The top looks a little icy and I didn't bring my cleats with me, so I think we'll skip that today. But that was still worth it. Great view. Okay, last look around before we head out. As I said, I would go up to the top, but I don't feel like climbing up in the ice. I took this from up there anyway. Okay, head her out. Bit of a slippery little spot here climbing this hill, but some places there's a little dirt you can get on. I don't suspect it'll be like this for more than a few more days. Let's get up this hill. Looks like I didn't beat the storm. Fortunately, it's not rain, no, it's snow. So, could be worse. That storm, she's coming in, you can hear it. Good news is, we're not that far to the vehicle. Even better news, there's treats in the vehicle. So we'll just up our pace here, although we get some treats. Well, that's the end of the trail. So we saw it all, we did it all. Now we'll get in the vehicle and it's all driving. We drive back to Vanderhoof. From there back to Prince George. It's a bit of a long day, but very enjoyable. Highly recommended waterfall chasers give this one a go. Later. As always, if you'd like more information on this track or any of our other tracks, go to hiking.princegeorge.tech and you'll find everything you need there. Thanks for coming along on my NECHAKO Valley Waterfall Tour. As you can see, there's some beautiful falls out that way, and you can make the circle I did and you can visit them all in one day. One thing to remember, these are user maintained, so take out what you took in and take out any extra you find. I believe the directions are very self-explanatory in the video, so I didn't put any extra directions on. You can find your way with these. Once again, thanks for coming along and join us on our next one. Not sure what it'll be or when it will be, but there will be a next one. Bye for now.